Hello and welcome back to the Henri Chef. I wanted to be watching the Chiefs hopefully beat the piss out of the Ravens at the AFC Championship game, but I have a cheap antenna and it's not allowing me to view the game. So since I have so much free time left, I figured I'd turn y'all on to an oogie weather recipe. Now, oogie, you ask? Yes. Oogie meaning it's wet, it's sloppy outside, it's cold, it's windy. It's just make a pot of soup and watch movies all day type day. So I'm going to turn you on to my chicken and egg dumpling soup. And the stock we've already pre-made, and I'll post a link in the description for the chicken stock recipe that we're going to be using for this. And you're going to need 5 cups of the chicken stock. Okay, and then I've already peeled both the potatoes and the carrots, but this is 2 large carrots, and this is 3 medium to medium large potatoes, and you're going to need 1 whole onion. Okay, we're just going to get right to the onion. And I'm going to show y'all how I cut it because it's a soup. It's not a stew, so you want some sort of consistency to the cut and the size of all the veggies. So just cut that in half. And yeah, before you scream at me, I don't have my refuse bowl, so it's just got to get out of the way. Okay, and then you just want to cut it about 1/4 inch. Now I like my onions a little smaller because, as y'all know, I love the flavor, but I don't like the crunch. So by cutting them smaller, they'll cook quicker and they tend to get a little softer than the other vegetables. And then 1/4 inch this way. Okay. Into the stock. Okay, now we're going to go for the potatoes. Now the potatoes can be a little tricky, but I find that if you cut them in half, you can stand them on a flat surface. And to keep these about the same size, I like to run them so you get a chunk like that. Okay? You end up with a chunk about that size. Into the pot. It's okay if some of them are a little bit smaller. When the potato starts to break down, it actually releases a bunch of starch, so it kind of gives a little bit of thickness to this soup. Now, if you like your soups creamy, once this is almost done, you can add a cup of heavy cream to it to add a little bit more richness to it, depending on how oogie your day actually is. You might want a more comforty type soup. But for this, since we're adding the dumplings, it's going to be rich enough. We're not going to add the cream on this one. And as I stated before in the chicken stock recipe, I've already pre-cooked the chicken, so we're not going to, you can see how that's prepped in the chicken stock video. So we're not going to put that in until at the very end, because we just want to reheat the chicken. And last but not least, and I showed y'all 2 different ways to cut them. You can choose whatever method best suits your culinary skills. There's no right or wrong way. Well, I guess the wrong way is if you cut your finger off or cut yourself, then I guess that's the wrong way. Okay. Okay, now to the carrots. Cut the end off. Okay, now carrots can be kind of tricky because carrots are tough. But I find that if I stick the end of the knife in like that, right, and then just kind of control the front, watching all your other fingers, and then just press down on the back of the knife. Right, and then you can turn it on a flat surface. Just like that. Now for the smaller pieces, I don't even bother with cutting them in half. I wait till I get to about, that size, about the size of your finger. And then I'll cut them in half and cut them in half again. Now, you're going to want to let this cook until the veggies are about halfway before you put any salt in it. Because remember, we put salt in it when we made the chicken stock. So let it cook for a little bit. And then, if it needs a little bit more salt to your liking, you can add salt at that point. Okay. And there we have it. All of the veggies are in. And we're going to put this on the stove. We're going to let it cook for about 20 minutes or until the veggies are about almost there. And then we'll add the chicken. And when it's that time, I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. Okay guys, I added the chicken to the vegetables and the chicken stock, and it smells amazing. I mean, just look at that. Thick and hearty. And then don't forget, we have the egg dumplings. Now, I'm gonna suggest something when you're making your dumplings or your pasta. That's the first time I have attempted that recipe, and in my opinion, it's a little tough. So if you go a little smaller, then it would be easier to, to beat up while you're chewing it. Pasta, I'd probably keep it a little smaller instead of thicker noodles and, hints like that. But let's give this a try. We're gonna take a couple of the dumplings. I'll take you. I'm gonna go 4 dumplings. And then a nice big spoonful. Oh, I wish I could smell this. Large bits of potato and carrot. Oh, so comforting. Just look at it. You got the dumpling, large pieces of chicken and veggie. Let's see if we can get a bite of this without burning ourselves. Yeah. That chicken stock, that broth is just amazing. Let's try. Where'd the little dumpling go? And can we cut you in half? No, you're not gonna let me? Alright, well, we'll just eat you with a carrot. How about that? Yeah. The dumpling is a little chewy, so if you keep it smaller, it'll definitely be easier to blend in with the chicken soup. But I would eat the chicken soup just by itself, or maybe put rice in it, or egg noodle if you wanted a chicken and noodle soup. Or you could try this recipe and make your own homemade egg noodle. But anyway, if you like this, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Like I said, I'll put the egg dough recipe in the description, so be looking for that. And until then, I hope you enjoy and stay warm.